making English easy for everyone.
Speak English with Jay and May.
Hey, English learners. Welcome back to Speak English with Jay and May, your cozy little place to build your English confidence. I'm May.
Hello, May, and hello, everyone. I'm Jay. How are you today, May?
I'm doing great, Jay. Actually, I was just thinking about something on the way here. You know how sometimes you say things like, if I win the lottery, I'll travel the world?
Oh, yes, I say that all the time. It's my favorite dream.
Right? And then other times you say, if I had $1 million, I would quit my job. Those two sentences sound similar, but they actually mean very different things.
Wait, they do? I thought they were basically the same.
That's exactly what we're talking about today, conditionals, those if sentences that English learners use every single day. And today, we're going to break all 4 types down so simply you'll never feel confused again.
Okay, I love this already, but before we dive in, May, can I say something to everyone real quick?
Go for it, Jay.
If this podcast helps you learn English, please subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification bell, like this episode, and share it with a friend. It really helps us keep making daily episodes for you.
Yes, we make a new episode every single day, so hit that subscribe button so you never miss one. All right, Jay, let's talk conditionals.
Yes. So, what exactly is a conditional sentence?
Okay, so a conditional sentence is basically a sentence with 2 parts. One part says the condition, which is the if part, and the other part says the result. If this happens, then that happens.
Oh, like a cause and effect kind of thing.
Exactly, you got it right away. And here's the thing, there are 4 types of conditionals in English: 0, first, second, and third. Each one is used in a different situation.
4 types. Okay, that sounds like a lot, but I trust you, May. Where do we start?
We start with the easiest one, 0 conditional. This is for things that are always true, like facts, like science, like things that happen every single time, no exceptions.
You mean like rules of nature?
Exactly. Here's a perfect example. If you heat water, it boils. That's always true, right? You don't need to guess. It always happens.
Oh, okay. So 0 conditional is for facts. Like if you don't sleep, you feel tired.
Yes, perfect example. And notice the structure. If plus simple present, comma, simple present. Both parts use the present tense.
Both parts are present tense? That's actually pretty easy to remember.
Right? It's the simplest one. Here's another one. If it rains, the ground gets wet. Always true, no argument.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Okay, so 0 conditional, always true facts, both verbs in simple present. Got it.
Beautiful. Now, here's where it gets more interesting. First conditional. This one is for real, possible situations in the future.
Real and possible? You mean like things that could actually happen?
Yes, things that are realistic, things you actually believe might happen. For example, if it rains tomorrow, I will stay home. You're talking about tomorrow. It's possible. It might really happen.
Oh, so it's like a real plan. If I finish work early, I will call you.
Exactly. And look at the structure. If plus simple present, comma, will plus base verb. The if part is present tense, but the result uses will.
So we don't say if it will rain, we say if it rains?
Great question. Yes, in the if part, we never use will. Even though we're talking about the future, the if clause stays in simple present. A lot of learners make that mistake.
Oh, wow. I think I've made that mistake before. Like, if I will go to the store, I will buy milk.
Yes, very common mistake. It should be, if I go to the store, I will buy milk. The if part, no will.
Okay, I'm going to remember that. No will in the if part for first conditional.
You've got it. And you know, first conditional is great for making promises too. If you study hard, you will improve your English. That's a promise, a real possible future.
I like that one. Okay, so 0 is always true. First is real and possible. What's second conditional?
Okay, this is where things change. This is my favorite one, actually. Second conditional is for imaginary situations, things that are not real right now or very unlikely to happen.
Imaginary, like daydreaming.
Exactly like daydreaming. Remember when you said, if I win the lottery, I will travel the world?
Oh, yes, my favorite sentence.
Well, actually, for most people, winning the lottery is very unlikely. So we use second conditional. If I won the lottery, I would travel the world.
Wait, won, not win? But we're talking about the future.
I know, this is the tricky part. In second conditional, the if part uses past tense, but we're not talking about the past. We're using past tense to show it's imaginary.
That's honestly kind of strange.
I know, English is weird sometimes. But think of it this way, the past tense creates distance. It's like you're putting the idea far away from reality.
Oh, like you're saying, this is not my real life, but imagine if.
Yes, perfect. And the result part uses would plus base verb. So the structure is if plus past tense, comma, would plus base verb.
Okay, so if I were a bird, I would fly everywhere. Is that second conditional?
Brilliant. And notice you said were, not was. In second conditional, we often say if I were, not if I was, even for I and he, she.
Really? If I were sounds a little formal, doesn't it?
It does, but it's actually the correct grammar here. You'll hear it in songs too, like if I were a rich man or if I were a boy. It's very natural in English.
Oh, now I remember those songs. So that's second conditional.
Exactly. And second conditional is also great for giving advice. If I were you, I would talk to her. That's a classic.
Oh, yes. My friend says that to me all the time. Jay, if I were you, I would stop overthinking.
Smart friend. See, you already use second conditional in real life. You just didn't know the name.
That's true. Okay, so 0, always true. First, real possibility. Second, imaginary. And the last one is third conditional.
Yes, and this one is actually a little emotional because third conditional is about the past, things that didn't happen, regrets, wishes about the past.
Oh no. Like when you think, I should have done that differently.
Exactly. Like, if I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. But you didn't study harder, and you didn't pass. It's too late. It already happened.
Ah, that one hits different. That's like my English exam story.
We've all been there. And look at the structure. If plus past perfect, had plus past participle, comma, would have plus past participle.
Okay, wait, past perfect? You mean like had studied, had eaten, had gone?
Yes, exactly. Had plus the past participle. So if I had known about this podcast earlier, I would have started learning English sooner.
Okay, that's a good one. So for third conditional, both parts use past forms, had done in the if part and would have done in the result.
Perfect summary. And here's the interesting part. Third conditional can also express relief, not just regret. Like, if I had missed that flight, I would have missed my best friend's wedding. You're happy it didn't happen.
Oh, so it's not always sad. It can be like, phew, good thing that didn't happen.
Right. Context matters. The grammar is the same. Past perfect, would have, but the feeling depends on the situation.
I love that. Okay, mate, can we do a quick recap because my head is a little full right now?
Of course. Let's go through all four quickly. Zero conditional, always true facts. If you touch fire, it burns. Simple present plus simple present.
Got it. Always true. Fire always burns.
First conditional, real possible future. If it rains tomorrow, I will stay home. Simple present plus will.
Real future. Will happen. No will in the if part.
Second conditional, imaginary present or future. If I were rich, I would buy a house. Past tense plus would.
Daydream mode.
Past tense, but not talking about the past. And third conditional, past imaginary, regrets or relief. If I had left earlier, I would have caught the train. Past perfect plus would have.
That one's the wish I could go back in time conditional.
Yes, that's a great way to remember it. You know, here's a fun way to think about all four. Imagine your life as four different movies.
Ooh, I like this. Go on.
Zero conditional is a documentary. Facts, science. If you eat too much sugar, your energy crashes. It's just how life works.
The boring but honest movie.
First conditional is a drama. If I get that job offer, I will move to the city. Real tension, real possibilities. Things are happening.
The exciting one where you don't know what will happen next.
Second conditional is a fantasy film. If I could fly, I would visit every country in one day. Completely imaginary, but so fun to think about.
That's literally my dream life.
And third conditional is a tearjerker. If I had told her how I felt, she would have stayed. Things that didn't happen. Emotions, regret.
Oh no, don't make me cry, May.
Sorry, but seriously, if you can remember those four movies, you'll always know which conditional to use.
Documentary, drama, fantasy, tearjerker. I love it. That's my new way to remember conditionals forever.
Wait, here's the interesting part. Sometimes people mix conditionals together, and that's totally okay in natural English.
Really? You can mix them?
Yes, these are called mixed conditionals. For example, if I had studied medicine, that's past, I would be a doctor now, that's present. Two different times in one sentence.
Oh, wow. So you can combine the past regret with the present result?
Exactly. She had moved to London years ago. She would be fluent in English by now. Past decision, present result. Very natural in conversation.
That's honestly mind-blowing. I never knew English had that flexibility.
That's the beauty of it. And you know, once you get comfortable with the four types, mixing them starts to feel natural. You won't even think about the grammar. You'll just feel it.
Okay, I want to try something. Can I make a sentence for each conditional right now?
Yes, go for it.
0. If you don't water a plant, it dies. First, if I practice every day, my English will get better. Second, if I were taller, I would play basketball. Third, if I had woken up earlier, I would have caught the bus.
Jay, those are all perfect. Every single one.
Really? Oh, wow, I actually got them all right.
You did. And you know what? That's the power of learning through understanding, not just memorizing rules. When you understand what each conditional means, always true, real future, imaginary, past regret, the sentences come naturally.
I feel so confident right now. Like actually confident.
That's what we love to hear. And here's one last thing I want to say. Don't be afraid to make mistakes with conditionals. Even native speakers sometimes pause and think, wait, should I use would or will here?
Really? Native speakers too?
Of course, language is not a test, it's communication. As long as people understand you, you're doing great. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes.
I love that, May. That's so encouraging. Okay, before we close, can we do a little challenge for the listeners?
Absolutely. Here's your challenge for today, everyone. Think of one sentence for each type of conditional: zero, first, second, and third, about your own life, your own real situations or dreams.
Yes, and then, this is the fun part, drop your sentences in the comments below. We would love to read them.
We really do read your comments, so don't be shy. Even if you're not sure it's perfect, write it down. That's how you practice. That's how you grow.
And if you enjoy learning English with us, please like this episode, share it with someone who's learning English, and subscribe if you haven't already. We come back every single day with new content just for you.
We hope you enjoyed today's session on conditionals. Zero for facts, first for real future, second for imagination, third for the past. And remember Jay's movie trick: documentary, drama, fantasy, tearjerker.
It works, trust me.
Until next time, keep speaking, keep practicing, and keep growing. You're doing amazing.
See you tomorrow, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.